Hey CVC coaches, this is Joel Woods, and I am a member of the CVC Rules Committee this year, which is a new committee where we can, take your feedback and kind of process things as they develop. I thought it'd be helpful after week one just to make a video to kind of, clear some things up that happened week one. There's kind of things that kind of always come up that first week with rules and spirit of the game, and I think it's best to just address it right off front. And I thought a video would be a nice creative way to do it. Couple things about me. So I'm the founder and president of Independence Youth Football, founded it 4 years ago. We've been a part of the CVC for 4 years. This is our fourth year doing rookie tackle. The first year was just us and Hawken, and we learned a lot about that. So we've been doing this for 4 years. Also, we've been doing padded flag for 4 years in third and fourth grade. So I coached that for 2 years. It's the exact same rules as rookie tackle. We played with Avon and Rocky River, and now I'm actually a board member of the Lake Erie Youth Football League, where we play for third and fourth padded flag with Amherst, again, Avon River, North Ridgeville, Midview, Buckeye, Cloverleaf, and more. So I've been in a lot of meetings, a lot of Zoom meetings between both of the leagues, and I've been in a lot of in-person board meetings where we cover these rules in detail more than you'd like to know. I've seen a lot of games, both padded flag and rookie tackle for 4 years. We also record most of our games on Huddle, so I've also seen a lot of games and the rules and things that have worked and not worked on Huddle. So I think I have a lot of experience, and I want to share that so things go well. So a couple of things, I think big picture, guys, the whole point of this thing is that we all sing the same song. All of our communities, I think we have 16 communities, and that if we sing the same song with the rules and the spirit of the game in USA football, we're going to make music, and that's what our kids deserve. They deserve a beautiful experience of youth football. Right? If we start singing different songs, if some people don't know the rules, or they know the rules and don't follow them on purpose, or they're not coaching their kids to follow the rules and practicing games, then we're going to have a bunch of noise. We're all singing different songs, and that's, noise isn't beautiful. So we want the best for our kids. Couple other things, guys, like the most important thing with this youth football program, we want get our kids to middle school football. Right? It's not about winning games and leveraging the rules for advantages. It's about retention, right? We want our kids to have a blast, where we want our parents to feel like, hey, they're safe. I'm okay with them going next year, right? We just want our kids to keep playing next year. And again, it's all about retention. And when the kids get to middle school football, they love football. They love playing for your community. They have a high literacy of the game. They have a high skill set. And really, you want kids that are confident, right? They step into middle school football and they're ready. All right, so that's winning to me. I want all our communities to experience that and not lose kids. We're a lot of smaller communities for the most part. We're going to have kids on the bubble, and we want to keep those kids in our program because they'll make a difference, right? And most importantly, those kids will benefit from middle school, high school football, right, and all the character development. So a couple of things, right? We all are USA football certified. Right? We want to use those USA football guidelines. Right? There's a reason why. Right? There's money and experts. All right, money and experts that went into USA football because retention numbers were going downhill years ago. Now we're trying to bring it back up. So I think we want to use the experts and follow the money and not just make up our own rules and make up our own. We're gonna have tweaks here and there, but let's follow those guidelines. And I think we're really responsible. Every coach, every leader in the program. Understand the USA football rules, our CVC rules, our tweaks, and understand why, right? And understand the spirit of the game and be able to execute that in practices and games. All right, so you got to be responsible for that. Okay, so some things that kind of showed up week one that I saw, and again, we're kind of emailing each other, things that popped up. And kind of week one, there's always kind of the similar stuff. So let's talk about this. Defensive alignment. All right, defensive alignment. All right, I got a defense and an offense here. So we got our offense with twins, right? And this is kind of like the best version of trips you can do. You can have a running back behind the guard. Obviously, if he's out here, it would be illegal formation. All right, so defensive tackles, right, got to be yard off the ball, right, and they got to be head up or outside shape. All right, I saw on Sunday, even on film, a defense that had two defensive tackles literally standing in the A gaps. You guys can't do that. All right. The whole goal of the rule, one, is to give centers, right, ability to snap the ball, right, without fear, right, of guys over you. We also want to give just linemen a chance, right, and kids to read and react, right? So So your head up, you're in the A gap. So if you're teaching your kids to line up in the A gap, please stop doing that. I tell my coaches, like, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that, like, either doesn't know the rules or knows the rules and does it wrong on purpose or lets it slide. So if you see your kids in the A gap, our kids are going to make mistakes, right? So, like, see that in your scrimmages and practices and games. See that and correct it. Or pull the kid off, tell him what he's doing wrong, put him back in the next play. All right? Refs aren't going to always see it. I think our job as coaches to make it easier for the refs, and we should be really policing a lot of these mistakes ourselves, so they can focus on the other parts of the game. All right, we can be outside shade. All right, this is not outside shade. That's just outside. There's no shade there. So, right, I think the idea is that, like, your inside leg would be even with this outside leg, or kind of eye to eye. So I think what we don't want to do is take a rule and start to, like, bend it for an advantage, right there. Just follow the rules, okay? Linebackers can be 4 yards off. Same thing with corner, minimum 4 yards off. Obviously got our free safety, 10 yards off. All right, so that alignment is key. All right, the next thing is, once we're lined up, is the A gap, right? So one of the defensive tackles is allowed to go in the A gap, okay? Now what the rule says is he has to make contact first. We want to give these kids a chance. All right, it's not fun when you just got a kid leaning in here, sprinting in there. This kid is not good enough yet to step in there and get in the way. You're going to strip this kid's confidence, right? We want kids confident. All right, give these kids a chance. Blocking is hard. I know in my community, we're trying to sell blocking is awesome. It's hard to do when you're getting beat. All right, you're getting cross-faced. So I think that's the idea with the spirit of the rule, right? Is you got to have contact before they go A gap, okay? And contact isn't just like tapping a kid's shoulder and then shooting right to the A gap. And I've seen, teams where, like, the kid's head up, but he's leaning in the A gap while the cadence is going on. As soon as the ball snapped, no contact, shoots the A gap, and it's a safety thing. I had a time where my quarterback was under center, he turned, this guy was leaning, shot the A gap, no contact, and tackled my kid behind. He didn't see it. Really kind of dangerous. So it's not safe. All right. So, and we want to teach good football skills. Teach our kids to use their hands and engage. All right. Actually make legitimate contact. All right. He can know ahead of time, hey, I have the A gap in my responsibilities, but you're not like shooting the A gap. Right? You're making contact, and then you have the A gap responsibility. This kid probably would be, B gap. All right. So let's do a better job of coaching that up. Again, understanding the reason why. I think we all could use more linemen in our programs, right? So don't be that guy that sends just shooting. All right, I understand there's gap responsibility. That's a different thing. All right, the other thing that we saw is, right, on a pass play, let's say he does this, he blocks here, right, kind of flag out, basic concept, right? Let's see the quarterback's rolling out. He's got the ball in his ear in a clear throwing position. All right, the only people that can rush the quarterback on a pass are these guys. Defensive tackles, that's it. That is it. Linebackers, corners cannot rush the quarterback. All right, here's the line of scrimmage, right? And I know it's hard for kids to know where that is. They're kids, I get it. But if he comes up here and you teach your kid to cross the line on a rollout or for some kind of boot, right? Like, we don't have anybody to block him. Right? One, it's not safe. You don't have anybody to block that kid. He could blow especially on a boot when he's doing this way and coming back and not seeing it. All right? So we don't want that. All right? The spirit of the game, the rule, right? He's allowed to come up and he can kind of stay there. And as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage, you can sit there and tackle him, which I knew was hard, but that's what you want to teach. All right? Don't just teach him to sprint up here. All right. Reason is, all right, spirit of the game, USA football, retention, your kids going to middle school. All right. Fun and safety. It is more fun, all right, for the quarterback to have time to throw the ball. Completing passes in games is way more fun. Scoring more touchdowns is more fun. I was a wide receiver first time I caught a pass was 8th grade, right? Because it was hard. All right. We want kids playing football and being excited about it. So there's rules on purpose with the money and experts where the offense has the advantage. The quarterback has the advantage. That's okay. We got to live with it. We can't be all the defense, guys, get over it. All right, this is youth football. It's rookie tackle, USA football rules. All right? So, yeah, he's got an advantage. okay? These kids still got to block, right? These kids still are going to, you're good. It's hard to maintain a block that long. Right? There's going to be pressure, all right? So the ball's on the ear, boom. Again, we want quarterbacks to develop their skill set, and it's really hard to do that when guys are in their face. All right, we want to develop their confidence passing the ball, receivers, confidence in catching the ball, all right? It's more exciting for parents to watch too, right? We want them excited about football and their kids making a big catch. So let's just live with it, and that's just the rules, and it's fair, even way. And you're on offense, you got the same advantage. So that's what we want, guys, okay? Let's see. Another issue, right? I know it's hard. We got a really athletic quarterback, and it's hard. He's going to put the ball in the ear, and then if everybody's covered, he's going to tuck and run. That's good football. All right? And I know the defense is a disadvantage, but guys, got to live with it. All right? Teach pursuit. All right? Have them come up. All right? Have them, pass. When the ball crosses the line, you yell, run, and now you convert, all right, to a run defender. All right? I know it's even harder on the goal line, but again, as long as it's fair for everybody, that's what we're trying to do. Okay? So let's do it. Keep your linebackers back. In my padded flag league, the referee actually says balls away when the quarterback goes past the line of scrimmage. That way the defense gets like an audible cue to just go for it. But hey, you can teach them to come up and just shuffle their feet and mirror him. And as soon as he crosses tackle, you can do that. All right? But let's make sure at practices we're not teaching this linebacker up right away. Okay? Last thing is the quarterback A-gap. I didn't really have an issue with that, but I might as well talk about it. It's the exact same formation. Let's put him at 3 technique out here outside shade. There's a little 2 outside there, coach. All right. So let's say we get this, right? He goes here. He goes here. He kind of reaches him, climbs up. All right. And you get a quarterback sweep out of shotgun. Okay? So that's okay, right? That's obviously a design play to the B gap. All right? The quarterback A gap, right? We can't just, again, we want to have our defense to not be so disadvantaged either because they have to be head up or outside eye. We don't want a quarterback sneak where it's directly up, and that doesn't really give them time to get to the play. Okay? So on this play, all right, where it's obviously a B gap run, where it's designed to not go in the A gap. Quarterback is running horizontally for, at least 2 or 3 steps, right? That's obviously here. If he took 1 step and went right in the A gap, him going straight up is pretty black and white. Him taking a couple steps and going to A gap is getting more gray, right? If he takes 4 or 5 steps and then cuts back, that'd be, to me, black and white the other way. All right, so if we get this, right, where he comes upfield here, well, what do you want your quarterback to do, right? He's going to see that, probably 3rd or 4th, 5th step, cut it back here. That's a good football play, all right? By the time that happens, that gives the defense time to react. And honestly, if he does that, if he's out here, where he's cutting up is probably where the B gap was. All right, after a second or 2, the gaps kind of dissolve. I think we all kind of get that. So I think we got it, if we see that where a kid bull rushes, boom, he cuts it inside after a couple steps. I think that's a good football play. Again, that's where really the B gap, even though it's inside the defensive tackle because he's outside, right? And I know my son last year, he didn't understand the rule. He took one, he was under center, he took 1 step and did that, right? And the other coach called it was Rob Burns, I remember, as a Berkshire, and I saw it too. Right, now I was going to call a flag. If I had a flag, I would have pulled that on my own son. Right, but that was a kid that's not understanding really the concept and so to kind of finish up, I think it's all about hey, understanding the rules, either right, we're doing the rules wrong and coaching them wrong because we don't know, or we do know and we're doing it wrong on purpose, which I hope isn't happening. Or, right, if that, the linebacker blitzing on a pass play, right, either the kid doesn't know the rule or he knows the rule, he's just an excited kid. I get some kids have different personalities, right? And if we see our kids, right, rushing the quarterback on a pass play, Either we don't see it and it keeps happening and the ref misses it, right? Or we do see it, we call them out, we correct it right away. And that's the best case scenario. You fix them up, you teach them, you put them back in, or you see it and you let it slide. So I hope we all have the integrity on these basic rules, that we're like keeping an eye out for it. I think maybe having some coaches on the sidelines that are looking for this stuff for really both teams, the other team and your team, and you can address it with other coaches and referees if we're seeing it in a game, is a smart way to do it. I know last year, our first game of the year, one of our linebackers blitzed on a pass play. Referee didn't see it. The other coach didn't see it. I know my head coach at the time wasn't me. He saw it. He's like, nope, that's not okay. We want to have integrity. He pulled that kid off, told them the rule, put him back in. We didn't have a problem the rest of the season. All right, so I know you can coach it, you can execute it. Again, when you're scrimmaging or practicing plays, if you see it then, stop, make it a teaching lesson, stop, teach all your kids, hey, this is the rule, this is why. If you do it in the game, you could get a penalty. So again, to wrap up, be responsible for the spirit of the game, the rules, understand the why, and I think if we all kind of get that big picture of get kids middle school football, don't take youth football too seriously, I think we'll make that music and have a great season.